Welcome to the Thriving Woman Project podcast, hosted by myself, Wendy Griffith. This is the podcast for women who want to level up and thrive in all areas of your life, health, and business. Join us as we cover a range of topics, all inspiring you to thrive and not just survive. We are here to work on the project of you, because I believe the best gift you can give your family and the world is a healthy and thriving you. It's time to thrive. Hello, lovely Thriver, and welcome to episode 6 of season 4 of the Thriving Woman Project podcast. I'm your host, Wendy, and I am so excited to get stuck into today's topic with you, which is the one thing that is going to massively explode your business in 2024. Trust me, you're going to want to hear everything I have to tell you today, because this has been an absolute game changer for me this year. And I know people say that all the time, game changer, but honestly, this one thing has revolutionized my business and has enabled me to more than double my income and revenue in my business in 2023. So this is why I thought, right now, as we sit here in December, this is something that I can teach you that you can then go on to implement from 2024 and massively grow your online business, which I know so many of us want to do, but we just need to understand the tools, the tips, the tricks on how to do it. So let's get stuck in to today's episode. So the one thing, what is that? Now, I'm just worried that when I say this, you guys are going to roll your eyes and be like, really? Seriously? But honestly, this is it. The one thing, email marketing. Now, this is something that you've probably heard from experts out there. You've seen things online, and it may be something that you've dabbled with in the past. Maybe you've got an email list sitting there that you haven't emailed in a very long time. Maybe you have 0 subscribers on your list and you're thinking, how, why, what, where do I even begin to start? But just before I get stuck into the tips, tools, and tricks for you today, I wanted to just share a little bit more about the statistics of email marketing, because a lot of us will be on social media, we'll be doing all the things, we'll be posting. But actually, what really gets me is that I see, these fantastic women in business posting this incredible content, and it goes nowhere, literally nowhere. There's no real call to action that is inviting people to engage further. Maybe they've said sort of comment an emoji below or DM me or something like that. But that is not ultimately moving people off your social media channels. And why that is so crucially important is because we do not own our social media channels. Facebook, TikTok, X, YouTube, they own our social media platforms. Those platforms could go down tomorrow. Your account could get hacked. It could be corrupted. I've seen people with thousands and thousands of followers literally be stuck and have to start again and start building that follower base, which is so much harder to do nowadays than it was in previous years. And so really, when you have an email list, you have a collective of people which have hand raised. They've put their hand up and said, I want to hear more from you. I want to engage with what you have to say. Put me on your list. What you have to say is valuable. I want to make sure I don't miss a thing. And while it doesn't mean that you abandon social media, of course not. Social media is that conduit to get people onto your email list. And when you consider that over 99%, this is according to a recent study I was checking out, over 99% of consumers check their email daily, making it the most reliable channel to reach your target audience. Now, maybe not so much if your target audience is, an 18-year-old, Gen Y, whatever they call them nowadays. But email marketing has an average return of investment, ROI, of $42 for every $1 spent. Now, this is what I love about emails, is that it isn't an expensive solution, and it is a fantastic way to automate your business. And I'm going to share a little bit more about why that is so important, especially if you're a busy woman juggling all the things you've got to do in your business. But email marketing is 40 times more effective at acquiring new customers than social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, etc. So it really is just such a compelling opportunity. And this is the best kept secret, I feel, because so many people aren't growing an email list. I see people with hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram with no lead magnets, call to actions, opportunities for me to engage further. And it's interesting recently because I've seen a lot of sort of influencers that I follow starting up the email list, and people are like, yes, please sign me up. I want to hear from you more. And this is a place where you can really nurture and grow that audience that you have worked so hard to cultivate through defining your niche and your branding, your messaging, your content pillars, all those good things. And this is a way that you can continue to nurture people because, when I studied marketing, 20 plus years ago, and have since, gone on to do more courses and further development. But one of the things we talk about is the rule of 7 in marketing. And that's that it takes, on average, 7 exposures to your messaging before people come to actually buy and consume with you. Now, the problem with today's world and the amount of sheer volume of noise on social media and the different channels out there is that it's very hard to get those 7 touch points in. In fact, it actually takes more than 20 touch points nowadays before people buy from you. So email marketing is such an effective way to condense down those exposures, especially if you're sending people like a weekly newsletter, comms, tips, etc. It allows you to have sort of that ongoing relationship, build that know, like, and trust factor, and really be able to nurture your audience and, just to provide value, to really show up and serve them, not just, the big World Wide Web on social media where you actually don't know who is really engaging with that content because, you'll put posts out there, you think this is so great, and then you only get like 2 likes on it. And you think, gosh, has anyone seen it? Well, people have seen it, but they haven't necessarily taken action on it. Whereas with emails, that is landing in people's inbox. You are getting their attention. You are getting, their eyeballs on your stuff every week. So that is really, really powerful. Now, one of the ways that we can use email marketing to really automate and help us, speed up those exposures and really just to gain more traction in our businesses is to set up funnels. Now, this word sometimes scares people because they think, oh my goodness, what is a funnel? I don't understand. But honestly, let me break it down for you. A funnel is just a way to move people from not knowing who you are to hopefully eventually buying or purchasing from you in the future. Now, when we consider the conversion rates on any sort of online platform of being 1% to 2%, 98% of people are not going to buy from you, but 2% will. And this is why it's so crucially important to grow your audience. And by audience, I don't mean your social media followers. I mean people on your email list. And another cool stat for you is that you will make approximately $1, let's call it £1, a month for every person on your email list. So if that's 500, that's about £500, £1,000 £1,000, you can do the math on the potential there. And when you consider that even if you have an email list of 1,000 people, which, is an amazing achievement, to have 1,000 people on an email list who put their hands up to hear from you is fantastic. But when you consider that you will only convert 1% to 2% of that audience, that's 1 to 2 sales, which means you can stop beating yourself up if people are not necessarily purchasing from you when you put your offer out there. So when you consider your audience size, consider that is the amount of people on your email list, not on your social media platforms. So say you have, this is a really cool stat for you, say 500 people on your email list, you'll earn approximately £1 or $1, depending, for every person on your email list. So that's pretty cool. So grow your email list, have 500 people on there. That's an extra $500 in your bank account each month, approximately, as long as you continue to nurture and grow them and actually put offers out there to them, which is the key thing. Now, on the offer front, so many people will launch things to the email list and they might not get the conversion rates that they hope for. But I was working through this the other day with one of my clients. So she has around 300 people on her email list and she wanted to sell a workshop, but it was a really low ticket item. It didn't cost a lot for people. And when we looked at her statistics, she had around 30 people that clicked onto her landing page with more information, checkout page around that offer. And she had 2 people actually purchase a ticket. Now, those statistics are actually spot on for those audience sizes, because when you consider that 1% to 2% conversion, which we'll get on our audience size, actually she had a really great engagement rate, about 10%. So 300 subscribers, 30 people click through, that's 10%. And then she had that 1 to 2% conversion of those, 1 to 2 people that actually bought from her. So rather than think to herself, well, my offer's rubbish, no one loves me, I'll just go eat worms, it's actually that she needs to really focus on growing her email list and a strategy around that. So what we've done is we put together a strategy for her for next year where she's going to offer a quarterly workshop because she works in styling with women. And that is driving people to come to that workshop. It won't be paid for. It will be a free event. And from that, driving people into her email list, she will then be able to offer her program as part of that workshop. So you need to think strategically about how you're going to get people onto your email list. And this is where creating your funnel and what's called a lead magnet is so crucial. So a lead magnet is a way that you can collect people's email addresses for offering them some free value and information. So my podcast is a lead magnet for me because people will listen to it. I'll direct them to the show notes where they can go, they can click, download, etc., register, whatever it is that I'm offering for people. And that is a way that I can grow my email list. Other ways you can do that, you could offer a free guide. So I'll link to these in the show notes to give you a few examples of some of mine. So I have a free recipe ebook for women wanting to thrive more in perimenopause. I also have a free digital marketing masterclass, which I've mentioned on here before, and is actually something that's really good for you to actually listen to off the back of this. So go check it out. And when people enter their email address, they will get delivered a sequence of emails from me with that resource and a couple of follow-up emails with maybe some further tips, further resources that I can point them to. And really, it just builds that know, like, and trust me value. And it really positions me as that expert, that go-to on that subject matter, and gives me an opportunity to really share more, serve my audience, and just really cultivate that trust with them so that when I'm in a position that I want to sell to them, want to offer to them, they're already warmed up. They're not just like, oh, well, who's this Wendy character, out of the blue, etc. And there's a few little ways that you can optimize your emails, which I'll share later on in the show, just to give you a few tips on, how to write your emails, subject lines, all that kind of thing. But really, you want to be thinking about what is a pain point that I can solve for my audience right now. So for me, I know that women in perimenopause, really struggle with energy, brain fog, all those kind of things. So what I've done is pulled together some of my favorite family-friendly recipes for them. And I've also included my meal planning templates to really help them to save time, meal planning each week, because I know that's something that when I spend 10 minutes doing it, it saves me a good 2 hours during the week. So that's something I want to share with my audience. So that's something I've pulled together in my Canva account, and you can download some fantastic free templates. That little tip for you, if you do not have the time or capacity or brain power to create your own lead magnet, is you can hop onto something like Etsy and you can buy a template of something relating to your industry. And you can actually, look for something that says PLR, right? So that gives you the ability to buy that lead magnet or resource or whatever it is, download it. You'll then be given a link where you can add that to your Canva and actually customize it with your own branding, colors, etc., which is a great way for you then to download that, position yourself as the expert, and offer that resource out to people. So it's not about you having to come up with some amazing, crazy idea. It's just about being able to really offer value to people. So my meal planning templates are one of my most downloaded resources because I am offering the gift of time to very time-poor women who need help. They need to save time. They're so sick of that "what's for dinner every night" question they get from their families. And this is an easy way that I can help them with that. And then I can follow up with further resources to support and help them with that, and further tips on perimenopause, etc. And then ultimately leading into my main offering.
Do you feel overwhelmed or just a bit stuck with how to market your online business? Maybe you've dabbled a bit or you've followed various advice you've gleaned online, but something is still not clicking for you. If you're feeling unsure about how to reach your ideal clients so that you can serve and help them like you were called to do, then you may want to check out my Thriving Biz Club. This is my program for wellness business owners who are destined to grow a thriving online business. In it, we cover topics like branding and speaking to your ideal customer, selling on social media, creating your first automated funnel, and nurturing your growing online audience through email marketing. But what makes this extra special is the community and accountability that comes with it. Join us for ongoing support with our monthly coaching and co-working sessions, as well as our WhatsApp community where we share for accountability and take inspiration from others. We also become your personal cheerleaders in business. The Thriving Biz Club is the program I've created that I wish I'd had when I first started my business over a decade ago. To learn more, go to the link in the show notes of this episode, because you deserve to create a healthy, sustainable, and thriving online business without the stress and hustle. So in case you're wondering about what are the tools that you actually use to do all this, I have something very exciting to tell you about. So next week, 13th of December at 2:00, I'm going to be doing a free email mastery workshop online to help you with all of this. I'm actually going to be showing you step by step how to use my all-in-one system, which I use for my business. So in that workshop, we're going to start with, how to start and implement an email marketing strategy. We're going to talk about top tips for maximizing your email marketing and easy strategies to actually get you started and thriving on your journey. And then, as I say, I'm going to go into a step-by-step of how I actually use and my email marketing, how I actually would set up a form, how I'd connect a lead magnet to it, how I would deliver it. So how I would create what's called a workflow sequence that then automatically delivers emails to people, and how I use this in my business. And I actually use a tool which I absolutely love called Flowdesk. And I actually have a really great discount code for you, which I can give you, which will actually help you just get 50% off your first year to actually use it. You can do a 30-day free trial, but then you can use that system to really implement and bring all of these things that we're talking about to life. So this workshop will leave you empowered with the tools, the tips, the know-how of, how to actually implement your email marketing strategy and whether or not this is the right thing for you and your business in 2024. I certainly know for me, this has been such a great way for me to automate a lot of the things in my business, because I don't know about you, but, sometimes it can feel really overwhelming for me thinking, am I doing all the right things? Am I actually effectively marketing my business? And I always say to my clients, measure your success by how many people you are adding into your world every week. And we do this through these different funnels that we set up. And maybe it's that you just want to set up one basic funnel to begin with, which is great. Always start with the first step. And then you can go on to add further funnels to your marketing mix just to really bring that to life. And obviously keep it exciting and interesting for you, because once you start doing this, it's so fun. And then I get to the end of every week and I think, right, how many people have joined my email list this week? And that is a real indicator of future success, because I know, remember coming back to however many people are on my email list, that is obviously going to help me with higher conversion rates when I do put an offer out. And it's also going to help me with the, everyday making sales and generating revenue in my business, that £1 for every person on my email list. So if you are someone who is perhaps struggling with overwhelm in your business, or you're thinking, gosh, I just really need to free up headspace to actually get on and do the day-to-day of your work. Email marketing is a fantastic way to automate your business. Now, that doesn't mean you don't do any work. Obviously, there's going to be work in the setup of this. But once it's set up, it is set up to work for you and bring people into your world, nurturing them. And then all you're doing is what I always recommend, that weekly newsletter to your email audience, nurturing them. It's not that you're going to put out an offer to them every week and be all spammy-pammy. If you weren't like that before you started email marketing, you certainly aren't going to become like that just because you do email marketing. But it's going to be a way that you can nurture people, continue to position yourself as an authority, expert in your space, and just continue to nurture people. Because I always love those emails that I open where there's a little bit of realness, vulnerability, and I love people sharing their top tips with me and just sort of helping me with sort of the everyday stuff. And that just really builds that reciprocity with people, so that when you do have something that you want to sell them or offer them, it's not going to be just, oh, who does she think she is, just coming in and selling to me? You've actually nurtured and warmed up that audience. So in terms of, and this is what we're going to cover a lot more in the email mastery workshop. So go to the link in my show notes and get yourself booked on that workshop, because I am very excited to bring that to you. It's going to be a power 30 minutes to really get you set up with your email marketing for 2024. But in that, we're going to talk about things like how to write effective emails, because you might be thinking, oh, and I'm going to give you my little top tips, like using ChatGPT to help you, using Magic Write in your Canva, which you may not even know is there, but once you do, you'll never go back. It's amazing. And actually how to write effective subject lines and using my acronyms and systems for the body of your email text. And I'm going to share one of those tips with you today because I want to, and I just think you need to know this. So one of my tips is PAS, problem, agitate, solution. So when you come to sit down and you come to write your email, think about, firstly, reverse engineer it. What is the solution you want to offer them? So maybe it's that you want to direct them to read a blog or listen to a podcast or, download a lead magnet or maybe connect with you, reply to you, whatever it is. Then think about what is the problem that person is facing right now. And that's what you really want to get across in the first part of your email. So, for example, if someone was to, download my recipe guide, for example, the first thing I'm going to ask them is, are you somebody who is struggling with, what to make for dinner every night? Do you sort of get to the end of a busy day and you think to yourself, oh my goodness, what is for dinner tonight? Like those are problems that people in my audience have. So they're going to be sitting there like a nodding dog going, yes, that's me. And that's when I can say, this is why I've created this recipe guide for you to give you easy, quick 20-minute dinners to get on the table at the end of a busy day. Yes, please. Thank you so much, Wendy. Download. And then it's thinking about, agitating that further and thinking, well, it's great, healthy recipes, but how do you actually get into a routine with this? And this is where meal planning comes in. And I can talk about agitating that problem further. It's like, do you often struggle with, getting those meals out? This, it's all very well and good to have a recipe guide, but actually, what is the system? What is the strategy to actually getting those meals out every week and making sure that you actually have the ingredients and you're not running down to the corner shop to get them every time you've got to make dinner? And that's where the meal planning comes in. So I can agitate that problem more for them and direct them to, again, download the recipe book, because in it, my free email, in my free email, you're going to get that, but you're going to get my meal planning templates as part of that as well. So these are just little ways that you can really start to connect with your audience through, identifying the problem, agitating it a bit further, really getting stuck into the pain points for them, and then offering your solution to them. So that's a really handy acronym that you can use when you're writing your emails. Just write PAS, scribble out a few points against that acronym, and there you go, you are good to go. And then make sure that you have a really compelling email subject line, something like, what's for dinner tonight? And then the pretext to that could be, oh, the bane of adulting is this question, or something like that. Or, are you struggling to figure out what to make for dinner every night? ? And an emoji. Emojis are a really fantastic way to personalize, customize, and they actually show that they get a higher open rate. And on the case of open rates, I just wanted to share with you that an industry standard for an email open rate, and you might not think this is very high, but it tends to sit around the 18 to 20% mark. But in terms of those emails, once you start building a targeted audience of people that are interested in your topic, then actually those email rates start to creep up. And if you're getting anywhere above 30%, you are absolutely rocking your email marketing. So well done. So that is something to look out for. And then the other thing you want to look at is click-through rates. So those, again, industry standards around 1 to 2% of people actually clicking through. So actually, if you're getting anything higher than that, again, you are absolutely smashing it when it comes to your email marketing. So I really hope those tips that I've shared with you today will really inspire and encourage you to consider email marketing if you already haven't. And even if you've maybe dabbled a bit, to actually really commit to this as a strategy for your business in 2024. Because nowadays, it's really about how we set ourselves apart in the business world from the rest of everyone who is just, showing up, posting on social media, hoping for the best, throwing stuff at the wall, hoping it will stick. This is actually showing a really professional, cultivated way that you are nurturing and growing your audience, where you've really put thought and clarity into it. And actually, it starts to become such a great repurposing exercise. So for me, when I sit down to write my weekly Friday 5, I think of, what are the 5 things that have really been helping me to thrive this week? I'll go through my phone, my stories, whatever it is, and I'll share them. But actually, that content now becomes, social media posts for the following week or posts for my Facebook group. So I end up repurposing that content and making sure that it appears in multiple different places so that I'm repurposing it. It's not that I'm having to think of new content for my social media, new content for my email marketing, new content for this. It's all consolidated and repurposed. And it just creates such a professional, streamlined, impression that people get of your business. And more than anything for me, it just makes it simple. It just keeps it automated. It keeps it flowing. I love sitting down to write my weekly email. I love being able to sit down and serve my audience and really help them. So I would just really encourage you, if you're sitting on the fence about whether or not to get stuck into email marketing, do it. Those statistics around consumers, 99%, checking their emails every day, the ROI, the return on investment with emails being so much higher and more significant than social media. Really, do you need any more than that? But if you do, come along to my email mastery workshop next week where I'm going to be getting stuck into this. And if you're listening to this episode in the future and you're thinking, no, I've missed it, be sure to know that I'm sure I will set up at some point a funnel of that recording or a guide or something to help you with your email marketing. So just reach out to me, drop me a DM, and I'll make sure that you get the resources to be able to support you on your email marketing journey. So yes, do get registered for that. Share it with your business bestie. Sharing is caring after all. And just on that note, I really just want to thank you so much for your recent ratings and reviews, especially on Apple Podcasts, because it really helps us get the podcast out to more women in wellness who are needing support and help with their businesses. So I really appreciate you taking those 2 seconds. I know you're really, really busy, but it does mean the world to me. And I really appreciate it. So thank you so much. So yes, let's make 2024 our most thriving years in business because we have adopted the strategies of email marketing. So yes, you may want to go back and listen to today's episode, write some more notes about funnels, think about your lead magnets, maybe check out Etsy or Pinterest for other ideas of things that people have done. And when you come to my workshop, you'll learn how to actually set up the funnel, set up your emails. We'll go into more, copywriting tips like the PAS that I taught you, subject lines, all that kind of thing using ChatGPT, and really look to explode your business in 2024. So until next episode, take care, Thrivers, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you for joining me for today's episode. If you've got value from this, please won't you take 2 seconds to take a screenshot and share a pic of this episode on your socials. Extra points if you'd like to rate and review this podcast on your preferred platform so that we can share the love with more women wanting to thrive in their lives. Do be sure to visit my website, wendygriffith.co.uk, to get all my free resources to support you on your thriving journey. Until next time, God bless, take care of yourself, and keep thriving.